Okay, so your test cases should not be dependent on each other, because randomly they would be distributed for execution to any of the testers, and you don't know that whether the previous test case that you are written or you are depending upon would be given to the same tester or not. Okay, and also sometimes your clients also want to see the test cases, that how you are doing the testing. Okay, so if he has a technical team, if the client also has a technical team, then he will send the technical team sometimes, or he may randomly ask you that show me your test cases. I would randomly pick up any of the test case and would execute it. So what if he has taken the fourth test case? Okay, you got my point. Yes, Anuja, I saw that you were offline. So this is the reason I put you on hold. Okay. So for now I'm doing for Kavita. I called out your name, but you were not there. So let me just finish with Kavita. I'm almost done, and then we can do yours. Okay. Okay, so I guess I'm clear with this now, that we don't have to take the logout. Now you have to log in with the valid username and the invalid password. See, again I would say that steps would be in the step format only. Okay, don't make it like in a description way. Okay, so it would be better if you write it in the steps, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and the following. Okay, so despite of this, you can write it down like enter the username, enter the password, and then click on the login button. And over here in the data, you can give it like what is the username that you want to give. This is the username that I want to give. Okay. For the password, you want that it should be blank. Invalid password, I told you that we don't have the requirement document for the text boxes, so we can't test for those things. So if you then also want to test it, then this would be a part of invalid only. Okay, this is only that we could get. So password, leave it blank. Nothing should be written in the password. So it is a part of the invalid only. You can then click on the login button. So for that you are saying that the application should display the error message and reopen the login page. Okay, that's correct. Okay, I'm satisfied with the other things, but for the description part you need to work upon this. Okay, and also though you are writing the steps correctly, the steps are correct. I am not saying the steps are wrong, but make sure that or try to write down your steps in the step format only. Okay, in spite of the paragraph format and anything. Okay, so because the column name we are giving it as steps, it's not a paragraph that we have to write. Okay, and write the things in the input data, put the data. Okay, Kavita, else it is good. Okay. Okay, now we can take for Anuja. Okay, so Anuja, this is your test cases. Okay. For login, to test the functionality of the login button, enter the username, password, login button. data, okay. Then for the personal details, to test the functionality of the save button in the personal detail forms, the precondition is the user is logged in as the ESS user, okay. Then enter all the details of the ESS user except the restricted fields. See, this is for Anuja, right? Yes, Anuja, I just explained, I don't know whether you were there or you went offline, that you have to write the name of the fields that you have to enter the data into. Okay, explicitly you have to mention the name of all the fields. Okay, like the name of the fields were the first name, the middle name, the last name. Okay, where it is. Okay, so don't write about the employee ID and the restricted fields, but for the other fields, you'll have to explicitly write it down in the steps that click on the full name, okay, then click on the middle name, click on the last name and enter the data. Then click on the gender boxes. Then this is also, okay, this can also be filled by the ESS users. Then click on the license expiry date, enter the data. So for everything you have to write it down. Like don't mention the restricted fields as you have written over here, but you need to mention the other fields, and then you have to click on the save button. Okay, so while if you're writing for all the fields, so you have to write the data also over here, okay, whatever data you are entering, so that would come over here in the test data. All entered details are to be displayed and saved. Okay, not to forget, again I'm saying that before checking the functionality of the save button, see, you must have seen in the contact details, this is the reason I told you that read the contact details also along with the personal details, because over there it is written that the form would be, when you are opening a form, it is not in the editable format. You have to first go and click on the edit button, okay, which would then save into the which would then convert into the save button. Okay, so if I am like getting logged in into the application, a personal detail form is open in front of me, okay, then this does not mean that I am able to edit the non-restricted fields on my own. Okay, firstly there would be a edit button present over here which you need to enter, which you need to click, then only the non-restricted fields would be converted into the editable format. Okay, until and unless you have clicked onto the edit button, the non-restricted fields would also be not in the editable format. Okay, so you need to write for that also. Then in personal details, verify the restricted fields. Okay. User tries to edit any of the following fields. Okay, he should not be able to enter any of the data to the specified fields. Okay. Okay, this is good. Then in the personal details, to verify the add button, the user is on the personal details page, no attachment is uploaded. Okay, click on the add button. Uploaded. Okay, data. If you're clicking on the add button, then after that what you need to do? See, if I am the tester, okay, who is executing this test case, okay, so what I will understand and what I will do is I will go to the personal detail page as an ESS user. Okay, I will log in into the application and the personal detail page will be open in front of me, and I will make sure that no attachment is uploaded, okay, before checking. Then I will click on the add button as you have said. Now clicking onto the add button, does it make, like if I'm just clicking on the add button, am I getting the uploaded image or anything is uploaded over there just by clicking onto the add button? Do you think so? Yes, you need to select an attachment, right? So this should also go under your steps, right? That after clicking, this should be the first step undoubtedly. Then after that, the second step would be select the image that you want to upload. Okay, and which should be of the size which is mentioned. Okay, clear with this thing, Anuja? So can you do the modifications and the updations in this one? In the other also? Are you able to understand? Okay, these were pretty good. Okay, so now I have received. Okay. Okay, I'm left with Tasneem, Sakib, Pachai, Kathy, and okay, these four. So we will be doing this in the next session now. Okay, I will be reviewing these test cases in the next session now. That is tomorrow. Yes, Anuja, after the updations, you can mail it to me, not a problem. Samantha, oh, have you sent to me before? When? Samantha, oh. Yes, I have, yes, Samantha, I replied you black also, right? Yeah, these were also good test cases. Oops. Okay. I have seen these test cases. So error message should be shown as password field cannot be empty. Yes, Samantha, I totally forgot about that. Okay. Since I have seen it earlier, so it won't take much time now to just go through it again. So for the login, they were good to this. Then for the names, this is the functionality of the name field. See, up till login, it was perfect. Now over here, you are actually, while you're writing down the steps, what you're saying that you need to enter the first name, the middle name, last name, and then click on the save button. So actually what you are doing, you are checking the functionality of the save button. Okay, and like from the steps I could understand this thing, and whereas your expected result is saying that user should be able to enter the name successfully and go to the next field. Okay, so over here you should not write it as click on the save button. You are only checking that whether you are able to enter the data in the various fields or not, right? This is what you're trying to do. Yes, okay. So it should be not the functionality, the oh, testing. So you are checking the editability of the fields. Okay, so are you particularly checking for one field or are you checking for n number of fields? Because over here you are switching on to different fields. That is the first name, middle name and the last name. You can't like combine all those fields into the name. Okay, because these are separately, like they have their separate names. So it would be to test the editability of, if you want to check for all three of them in one test case, see, either I would suggest you that check the editability of all the fields, okay, of all the non-restricted fields. Okay, or just check for one field. So if you are checking for all the non-restricted fields, then you'll have to write down, like enter the first name, middle name, or what else are the other non-restricted fields apart from this. Yes, Samantha, you can ask your question. You want me to unmute you? But then let me just complete with this thing and then I would unmute you. So if you are checking the editability of these things, then you should not be able to enter. Right? As I told you that though the person is logged in into the application with the form open in front of him, okay, but in the initial phase, until and unless you click on the edit button, it won't be in the editable format, not the non-restricted fields also. Okay. So your expected result is not correct over here. Now let me just unmute you. Samantha, right?
Hi, Vidya. Here I am testing the name field by giving all the three names correctly. And the next thing is I'm giving the first name and the last name should be mandatory. They are start. So I'm skipping the last name and giving the first name and middle name. The second one is.
Okay. In the other one?
I'm just testing the name field here, how it is accepting the names, whether it is accepting the one name or two names. The first name and last name are mandatory, so I have to give them for sure. So I'm just testing it without giving the first name once and without giving the last name.
See, the 6 and the 7 are correct in that way if you are testing that, since the first name and the last name are mandatory. So these are correct.
Yeah, for the first time I'm testing by giving all the names correctly. All the names, three names.
Yes, but the point that I am trying to explain you is you cannot enter any of the fields only until you have clicked onto the edit button.
But there is no edit button there in the first personal details. I don't know whether I missed it or not. I have to check it again once again.
I actually don't remember exactly about where it is present in the personal details or whether it is present in the personal details or not. Okay, but
No,
yeah,
it is not
yeah,
there.
it might not be present. I'm not so sure about it. But since it is present in the contact details and every form is the contact detail, the personal details, they all are coded in the same way. So we have to take it like that every form is in the same format.
Okay.
So this is one thing which is not explicitly said in the requirement document, and I feel that this is one of the defect of the document only, that it should be explained over here in the personal. Okay, so I guess in the last session I missed this thing, so this is why in this session I first explained this thing, okay, and then I told you that over here you have to do the changes. Okay, Samantha.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, else your test cases were good enough. So based upon the new thing that I told you, you have to modify this thing, that like the personal details only, anything won't be editable only if you have clicked, until and unless you have clicked on the edit button. Okay. And for the others, I will review your test cases in the next session, that is tomorrow. And all those people who were new to the batch today, Manju, let me unmute you. Hey Manju.
Yeah, do you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, actually what my doubt is you are telling that there will be some edit button, and if we click on the edit button, then it will allow the user to enter into the field names like first name, middle name and all. So in such a case, so first of all we look into the login page, how we can write the test cases. Like first of all we write test case for the edit button, like edit button is there, the user should enter edit, click on the edit button. Then what is the scenario? So it will allow the user to enable to enter the data, and after that check the first name field. So enter the data in the first name and like some sample data, and so it will allow the user to change the field and click on save. After that, for the first name field, you just check for it is allowing the user to enter the first name field. After that, middle name entry, it is allowing the user to enter the middle name. The last name, it is allowing the user to enter the last name. And after that, you for the save button test case, you just write test case for save and enter that. Click on the save to save the already entered fields. This is the case, or before that we have to check for all the fields, because before